But the ones that have a mic, you can go ahead and then we'll pass it to the ones who do not.
Melvin Turner.
My name is Matthew Leach.
My name is Morris Jr. My name is Michael Carter.
My name is Wade Cox.
And Mr. Joshua Bentley here, doesn't have a mic. To start this conversation off, looking at that movie, really brought up a lot of emotions. I remember when I was in high school, it was the 25th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's death, and we actually took a bus from Champaign, Illinois, down to Memphis, Tennessee, and we actually got to reenact that march that we just witnessed on there. And we got to go to the Simon Temple, and they played at the mountaintop Dr. Martin Luther King's last speech. And there was just, you had a surreal feeling. But watching this movie, I got that same surreal feeling, seeing that happen again, and understanding in the context of people who are demanding their rights, and also seeing a force out there that still exists today that keeps people from their rights. So that brings us into a perfect conversation and understanding that Dr. Martin Luther King started the Poor People's Campaign. At the same time, the sanitation workers were asking for rights and demanding rights. They met together. Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. They marched to Washington afterwards for the Poor People's Campaign. And now today we look and it seems like maybe, just maybe, nothing has changed. We're looking at a situation where we have people who are doing their best to take care of their families, which is no different from what Mr. Leach and Mr. Turner were doing in 1968. So to get this conversation going to understand, I would like to first start with questions to Mr. Turner and Mr. Leach on how they feel after seeing that movie.
You know, every time I see that movie, it brings tears to my eyes. You know, did you see the violence that the police was doing? I was one of those fellas that got hit. I got a scar here that'll follow me to my grave. And it really hurts to see that movie, because it brings me right back to that day. I wasn't doing a thing, just standing up on the street when police had walked up there. Didn't say a word, just all off and getting me right back. So that really hurts.
Yeah, that bring me back to memory. See, they shot tear gas. And that tear gas is something that God tell you. Anybody want to add one tear gas, y'all want to. It's going in the face, eye. God, like I said, that man is T.O. Jones. That man fought for us to hit death. Because he used to come to my house, eat money, I let him have money on the way he needed to do. I stuck by that man, wherever he asked me to do it, I stuck by him. Because he's the only one brought us through the struggle with that strike. Because that's his son, he sees that's his son. I talk to him now. One for the other people helping us, preaching and doctor the Lord and helping us come through this struggle. And it's making me cry. Sometimes I get tears. I think about it now, every home, sometimes I go to find about it, how they treated us.
Thank you. As a Tuvaluan, I stand here and I say that we have a slogan there called "Where the history meets the future." And I think that on this stage we see exactly where history meets the future. And in that context, we want to ask I see Mr. Michael Carter has a microphone in his hand, but we'll start with you, Mr. Carter. On your experience after seeing that movie, how does that make you feel?
I see some of that, what's happening in that movie happens in Eason. The part where he talks about that anybody can come talk to you, they can come talk to him about anything, any problem they have. Eason said the same thing. You can come talk to us, the open door policy, and we'll listen. But their talks on deaf ears. They'll listen, but they know it. Just like with this new model we got coming, they want to save so much money that they packed all these machines in this one little area, and it's become a safety hazard. And you got all this chaos. You got forklifts riding around. If you don't watch your back, somebody's going to get hurt. But because they want to save money, they did that. So I see a lot of us on that movie here in Eason.
First, I'd like to say that thank you for being here, supporting us. It's a humbling experience to be in your presence. Looking at that movie, I think about the powers that some of the powers that run the land, so to speak, want to take us back to where we were, they say, back to the Ward Cleaver and the Leave It to Beaver days. And those days really didn't look so good. We fought during that time. And, I'm fearful that if we don't rise up, we're going to repeat those days, that era. And that right there is what I have.
I'm likewise, I didn't catch the rest of the movie, but I think I have seen it before. But I'm experiencing, my fellow co-workers and I, it's like, we still have the type of people that I'm sure will happen back in the day, strike and everything, sanitation work going on. We still have people that are dedicated to their job, and they want to do good for their families. But it's an obstacle to come up against. It seems like every day continues that it's a status quo. They want to make, they want to. The corporate world today is going, it's money hungry. I think everybody know that. They want more and more at the expense of the workers. I'm saying this is just a new age version of what you guys here have already gone through. So Mike and I, we experience it every day. It's just in a different form now. Back in that day, I can touch a little bit about it. I'm old, I'm getting there. But anyway, I can attest that it's a little bit different format that they're using today. And they're dealing with mines and they don't practice with as much as they used to like that, but they do it a different way. But like I said, once they film and bring it home, just like the gentleman had said here, we need to have a movement, and we need to get serious about our surrounding, our area, and our workforce. And we need to get for a cause, and this is like, and this thing that's happening that we're involved with now is a really good cause. I mean, it's a cause that's worthy of a cause. So I think we need to get motivated to the point that the old time workers were. We need to get to that point again today and motivate our youth.
And we're going to try to switch these mics out so we can get a better sound going on. But so the conversation continues to go. We have Joshua Devlin up here. Joshua is a student as well as someone that is from the Jackson, Mississippi area. So I know he has seen the plant not exist and now exist, and as a person that can give some perspective from the community and from the student standpoint, we'll ask Josh, what are your feelings?
As a Mississippian, as a student, we witnessed what was said in this documentary, and we're witnessed by everything that Dr. King said, and it's something that was pointed out, and this is how I think the sentiment in the room goes, is when Dr. King said 1,300 of God's children are asking for equal pay, better wages. They're asking for America to be what it was on paper. And now, more than 40 years later, we are asking America to still be what it is on paper. We are facing 3,000 to 5,000 of God's children who pray, who live, who eat, who go to work in a community that they love, who go to church in that same community, who go to school, who provide for their family, and they're just asking for protection. They're asking for that opportunity to form a union and to organize, and for what America to be what it is on paper. So as a student, as someone who studies these movements, as someone who participates, it's great that we generate this movement, we generate this energy, because we must continue to, as Langston Hughes would write, ask America to be America again. We must ask America to be what it has been and what it should be for not just a certain type, but for all people. So that's how we feel as students.
During the movie, I seen one aspect of it, and I guess from studying this, I never realized how many times Dr. Luther King actually came to Memphis. From what I recall from studying this, it all seemed like it was just one event. He came, he marched, and then he died. But I didn't realize he came to Memphis one time before, and seeing how tired he was. And, they say he was tired in his soul. I actually saw that in Dr. Luther King there for the first time, and it's like, it touched me again. And what happened during that point in time, the focus went away from the sanitation workers, and it actually went on to the negative things. And what's going on now, and what we have seen with the history of workers who are standing up and demanding their rights throughout the country, it always seems to take attention away from the workers, and they tend to put it on something else. As we get the community and students involved in the movement for the Nissan workers as they request to unionize, Mr. Turner, Mr. Leach, what advice can you give us from your experience that can make sure that the focus always stays on the Nissan workers and what they're requesting?